Currently, to this day, there's a lot of misunderstanding that you need to be in a smaller body to have an eating disorder.
A big part of recovery is learning about balanced meals, learning why the food is something that your body needs, why your body might change during treatment, and dealing with those changes, because that can be really difficult too.
One common misconception is that, it's one particular thing that may have caused an eating disorder. So a lot of times, parents will think that maybe they were responsible for the eating disorder, or maybe it's social media, it's what we see on TikTok or Instagram, right? But a lot of times that's just one piece of the pie when there's so many different pieces of the pie. The way I kind of like to say it is that genetics normally will load the gun and environment pulls the trigger.
It affects everybody across the board. It does not discriminate, and just because you may be in a larger body does not mean that you aren't struggling and that you are not sick.
It is absolutely terrifying to let go of an eating disorder. And one of those reasons is because it's become such a part of their identity that if someone is now faced to look at who am I without my eating disorder, that's extremely scary for someone to be able to do.
At our eating disorder division, we do have a collaborative team, a full treatment team that works together. It's made up of clinicians, registered dietitians, doctors, psychiatrists, and nurses. We are really pleased to offer that we do have nursing support over at our eating disorder division that's checking in with them at least weekly and then as needed. So we're getting vitals, we're ensuring that if is needed for weight stabilization or weight restoration, we're checking in on those things as well.
So recovery is not linear. We all know that there are going to be bumps along the way. There's many peaks and valleys throughout this journey. What's important is that, when a client does experience a lapse, and there will be lapses along the way, remember to use your coping skills. You have the strength inside to be able to pick yourself back up and make sure that your lapse does not have to turn into a full-blown relapse.
A lot of what I do as a dietitian is kind of like talking to them about which foods they need to be incorporating and making sure they're getting a variety. That's why we do the food exposures, because they might be, very focused on a certain food, like, oh, I need to eat kale because of this, and then they're only eating kale. They're not getting, yes, kale has nutrients, but they're not getting nutrients from any other food either.
I always like to tell people that there will never be a better time to receive treatment than today. A lot of times parents will think, well, maybe I'll wait till when school is done and then I can have my child go into treatment. Well, by that time, they may be that much further into their eating disorder, and it won't be any easier waiting, and potentially detrimental to their life and health as well. So while it is, treatment is difficult and there are going to be challenges along the way, the faster you are able to receive the treatment, the better the prognosis.